Hey friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. Today we're test driving the 2016 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. It's all new for this year and it's second generation. It's got a new design inside and out, as well as a new powertrain under that hood, a smaller gasoline engine and a larger, more powerful electric motor. Now, it competes against cars like the Honda Accord Hybrid, the Camry Hybrid, and of course the Ford Fusion Hybrid. We'll even throw in the Volkswagen Jetta Hybrid, even though that car is a little bit smaller. So really, my big question today is, how does it stack up? For 2016, the Hyundai Sonata Hybrid gets an all-new styling language which the brand calls Fluidic Sculpture 2.0. In comparison to the last generation, it has more deliberate squared-off and chiseled forms, looking less like a windblown sheet draped over artwork. The new 2016 Hybrid model receives unique styling from the standard sedan with its own design for the front and rear fascias, which offer better aerodynamics for increased efficiency. Specially designed 17-inch EcoSpoke wheels also contribute to the Hybrid's unique look. All of these design enhancements make it the most aerodynamic in class with a 0.24 drag coefficient, a number Hyundai says is equal to that of the Tesla Model S. As ours was equipped, it also has visible sensors for its advanced driving features in the grille and bumpers. The interior is unique too, to say the least. Ours was equipped with the optional pearl blue leather chairs, which feature white highlight striping down the center. They definitely pop, but were also quite comfortable. In our Limited, they were also heated and ventilated up front, power adjustable on both sides, and even heated for the rear seat passengers. The dash design is a bit more upright and less artistically expressive than before, looking more traditional and purposeful. The center stack featured the top-end touchscreen audio, navigation, and infotainment system with Hyundai's BlueLink suite of features. Sound quality is excellent, connectivity options wide and vast, and most importantly, it's easier to use and learn than some of its competitors. Switchgear quality in design and feel is reasonably good, with their layout being logical and within easy reach, as ours had the full suite of driver assistance features like lane departure, blind spot, and forward collision warnings. There are plenty of additional controls here. The heated leather steering wheel also featured full audio and informational controls, and the dual dial instrument cluster ahead of it is customizable with a TFT digital screen, which was very easy to read both day and night. Our tester had optioned the Ultimate package, which includes a large panoramic sunroof which has an opening front section and a fully closable opaque shade. On hot days, however, even with the shade closed, it lets plenty of heat in. When it comes to this interior, I have to tell you, these blue leather seats really knocked my socks off when I first saw the car. It's the last thing I expected to find in a Hyundai, let alone a hybrid, because so many of these manufacturers, when they put a hybrid car together, they always put these really toned down colors in here, like the only people that are going to buy them are a librarian or something like that. They want, well, they just don't want to excite people. And here, Hyundai's really sort of gone over the edge and done something special. I admire that. Now, unfortunately, some of the other trims that are part of the hybrid here aren't so great, and this trim here on the door and the door panels, it almost looks rental car to me. It's just kind of cheap and cheesy looking. That is just my opinion and perception. I'd recommend certainly seeing it for yourself. Now, the thing that isn't my opinion is the noise this panoramic roof makes. When the car flexes and when you go over bumps, this headliner just creaks and rattles, makes all kinds of racket constantly, almost to the point where towards the end of the week, it was really getting to be a conversation piece every time I got in the car. So if you're looking at one of these cars and you're looking at the panel roof, make sure you test drive it. Make sure it's just, you know, maybe it's my test car, maybe they all do it, but something to keep in mind. The second row can seat 3 across or 2 with a fold-down center armrest, and unlike some hybrid sedans, the rear seats do fold down in a 60-40 split, allowing an expanded cargo area. One thing this car's really got going for it is this rear seat space. I mean, look at all this space. And not only does it have space, but this being a fully loaded model has a lot of creature comforts too. Of course, there are the vents back here. That comes in all of them, but this does have the seat heaters. Not all of the vehicles in this class offer heated rear seats. And of course, you've got the privacy shades here, which here in Arizona with the sun can actually be a very good thing. The trunk is one of the largest in the hybrid sedan class because its lithium-ion battery is placed under the load floor instead of behind the rear seat like many. This pays off for better trunk space but deletes the spare tire. Under the hood for 2016 is a downsized 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 154 horsepower. A more powerful 51 horsepower electric motor is sandwiched between it and the 6-speed automatic transmission to offer a total 193 system horsepower. The gasoline engine can shut off and the Sonata Hybrid powered by the electric motor alone, or the two can work together for maximum power. When coasting or braking, the electric motor regenerates electricity back to the battery.
Now, one thing I find very impressive about this hybrid powertrain is that because it uses a traditional automatic transmission, it has a very traditional driving experience. A lot of hybrids, they use a CVT, which oftentimes has that rubber band effect or the leaf blower sound when you really ask for power. Here, it's a very quiet engine, it shifts normal, it feels normal, and when the engine shuts off and turns back on, that transition between electric power and gas power, it's barely perceivable. It's very refined, and I would say that this really has one of the most refined hybrid powertrains of many of them that I've tested. It's right up there, I'd say, with the Volkswagen Jetta Hybrid, which is also one of the best.
The EPA rates a 2016 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid at 39 mpg city, 43 mpg highway, and 41 mpg combined. In our week, we achieved 41 mpg combined as advertised and just less than the highway rating of 43 mpg.
Now, one of the dividends of this having a very powerful motor and a good battery is the fact that this can actually drive at speeds up to 75 miles an hour on electric power alone. Of course, there are some prerequisites. It's usually when you're coasting or not under power or maybe going downhill slightly, definitely not adding power, but there are a lot of times when you can sail, is really what the term for it is, when the power level needed is low enough that the electric motor can actually keep this car sustained at speeds. Right now, I'm rolling along at about 65 miles an hour, and well, okay, there it is. I've just sort of let off the throttle a little bit and I'm going on a flat piece of pavement here. It's rolling along in EV mode. At freeway speeds, that's really a good thing, and that is how this car is able to achieve such high MPG even on the highway.
The chassis of the 2016 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid features what most in its competitive set do: a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear. Variable assist electronic power steering and stabilizer bars front and rear provide for a good feel of control.
Driving around town, the ride and drive of this is actually a pretty refined experience. They've done a lot of work on this chassis to make it stiffer, which allows for better suspension tuning. And so the ride here is, I'd say, medium, not too firm, not too soft, and well, noise like expansion strips and overall pavement noise seems to be at a low. The only noise I really get in here more than anything is the creaking of this headliner with this panoramic roof over bumps and things like that. But outside of that, it's a pretty well-controlled, quiet ride.
When it comes to safety, the 2016 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid itself has not yet been tested, but the 2015 Hyundai Sonata gasoline model, which should perform nearly identical, received the IIHS Top Safety Pick rating, achieving good ratings across their battery of crash tests and acceptable in the small offset crash.
Rounding it up for the Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, I have to say I'm pretty impressed overall. Now, looking at the specs here, we're at $35,000 and some change, fully loaded. That's pretty comparable with most of its competitors when you pile on the options. The Ford Fusion, you can spend a little bit more money going further upscale, and many of them, of course, offer the plug-in hybrid version, which is a little bit more money still. Now, fuel economy, I hit 41 mpg average this week, city and highway. Now, as we look at the stars, we talked about some of these areas. The big one here really is all about the interior. It really just feels sort of, well, rental car-esque to me, even though it has those really nice leather seats. That was a big plus. The overall fit and finish and the general presentation just isn't quite as upscale as some of its competitors, and there was the matter of that noisy panoramic roof. But overall, we're still at 4 stars for the week. Not bad at all. I'm Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. I hope you enjoyed the ride.
If you enjoyed our review, please click on the link on the screen to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on the Google, Twitter, and that Facebook by clicking on the links below in the information section.